So if you're a producer that posts your beats on YouTube, then you've definitely had someone tell you to choose a niche when you're uploading your type beats, right? And to be honest, it's easier said than done because as a music producer, you kind of want to post all kinds of beats, right? You don't really want to box yourself into one niche. So, and on top of that, it's hard to really find a niche that is actually good and gonna get you views. But what most producers don't tell you is, yeah, all those things are hard, but how can you actually find a niche that is really profitable at the same time? Because there's a difference between getting a lot of views on your type beat video and actually getting conversions. So what if I told you that some niches can get you 3 to 5 times the amount of sales that another niche would, even if they had the same amount of views? That's why choosing your niche is really important, and that's exactly what I'm going to go over in today's video. So without further ado, let's get started. Here are 5 easy type beat niches that will make you $3,000 a month. To start, we have niche 1. R&B type beats are an easy cheat code to start getting a lot of sales on your beats because of who they target, and I'll get into that a little bit later in this video. But R&B type beats, number one, they sell a lot, but they also get a ton of views. So if we have a look at R&B type beat on the search results in YouTube, as you can see, like, people are getting a ton of views on here. And I mean, some of these videos get 4 million views. This one has 2.6 million in just 8 months, right? And they all have kind of the same theme, as you might notice. It's just a picture of a girl on the thumbnail. So number one, yeah, these beats sell a lot and they get a ton of views and they target the right audience, artists that actually buy beats, along with the fact that it's not that high competition. And the reason why is because, yeah, maybe a lot of people do post R&B type beats, right? But in order to actually dominate, you have to have a strategy with it. A strategy where you're either going for sample R&B type beats, right? And you're kind of going after a unique edge, or you're going after quality and you want to be the best with the quality, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys are really good and have hard beats, right? So your quality kind of reduces competition in a way because there's a lot of producers out there, right? They might be posting R&B type beats, but that doesn't mean they have good beats, okay? So a lot of producers just don't have it when it comes to quality, and that's okay. Over time your skill will get better, but that's not really what we're here to talk about today. I assume you already have good beats, and now I'm just showing you how to market the shit out of them. So yeah, R&B type beats is really good. I would highly recommend it if you already make those beats, and maybe even consider getting into that style because it'll pay you huge dividends if you do. Now, the next niche is Lithe type beats. Okay, so these type of beats have kind of come around in the last year, I'd say. Really, in the last 8 to 12 months, I've seen them absolutely explode on YouTube. And to be honest, there's not that much competition. So all these niches really won't have much competition, right? That's why they're really good niches to get in on. But I highly recommend just searching up Lithe type beat and seeing if your sound kind of aligns with that. Because if it does, it's a great keyword to go after. It's almost a mix of like R&B and trap, and kind of like that Don Toliver sound. To be honest, I'm probably going to start a channel on this niche, so I'm letting you guys know before I do. You can try and beat me to it, but definitely a solid niche. The reason why I say this too is because these beats leave a lot of room for the artist to rap on, and as you know, simple beats definitely sell more. So these beats have a lot of room for the artists to rap on or sing on, which means one, these beats can take just a half hour to make, so the workload isn't much, and that allows you to be able to post daily, so your volume's going to be really good, on top of the beats being able to sell a lot. Now, I wouldn't say they sell as much as R&B type beats, but they definitely sell more than just dumb trap type beats, and I'm not calling trap dumb. I actually have dumb trap as like a genre in my head, basically like splurge type beats or like no melody, just 808 type beats, the kind of stuff you'd see when you walk into your school bathroom and there's a group of like 16-year-old kids just freestyling in the bathroom. It's those type of beats, but I use that example a lot just because I think it's funny. But anyway, moving on to the third niche, we have Chuckyy x Lucki sample type beats. So sorry if I'm exposing your niche, but this is definitely a really good niche to go after right now. Number one, Lucki is kind of an evergreen keyword. He's been around for a while, and I have a feeling he's going to stay for at least the next 3 to 5 years, at least as a good keyword for type beats. Chuckyy is also a new up-and-comer, and what I found is when you combine an evergreen kind of keyword, right? In this case, we have sample as well, sample type beat as an evergreen keyword. So when we have Lucki type beat, which is also kind of an evergreen keyword, we combine that with a really evergreen keyword that will never die, right? Sample type beats will never die. And then you combine that with a trending artist like Chuckyy, which you might have never heard of him, but he's definitely coming up right now. And if you look at him on vidIQ or just on YouTube, you'll definitely see that Chuckyy type beats are definitely getting a lot of views. So don't sleep on it. You can check to see if the sound kind of matches yours, but I highly recommend this, and it's not very hard to do. You don't need to have any fancy visualizers or anything like that. Just a good picture will do, and a good beat, of course, right? A sample beat. It has to be a sample beat every time for this niche. And I'm a big advocate for posting sample beats right now because in 2025, there's no better strategy in terms of like going viral. Obviously, getting sales is a different story, and like getting revenue. But if you want to just go viral and get a type B channel to blow up, and then the sales will come later, and just kind of get your foot in the door with a type B channel, sample beats are definitely the move. Just because their viral potential is just so much higher. It's literally like 10 times higher than just if you were to post a regular Chuckyy type beat, for example. Now, these beats sell a decent amount, I would say. They're definitely profitable. The nice thing is you can also transition into other keywords from here and kind of go in other viral niches like rack baby type beat, and you can actually transition out of sample later, right? Once you've built up 3 to 5,000 subscribers and you've done the going viral part, right? Then you can transition into doing just Chuckyy type beats or just Lucki type beats or Chuckyy x Lucki type beats and kind of rake in some of that ad revenue. But a lot of the sample type beats actually are able to get monetized, which is nice. So I'd say about 70% of your beats will be monetized, and then the other 30%, if you're using like a crazy popular sample, probably not going to be that good. But I definitely think this is a super profitable niche, so don't sleep on it. Now moving on to niche number 4, we have BAKJ type beats or BAKJ type beat. Specifically BAKJ sample type beats. But what's nice about this niche is you can do BAKJ sample type beats to go viral in the beginning, just like this last niche that I showed you. And then you can transition into BAKJ type beat just by itself and start to get more ad revenue that way. But this keyword is just going crazy right now, and I'm definitely going to be starting another channel on this niche because it's just too broken not to. These beats are just becoming super, super popular, and I highly recommend it. That's why, when you add a trending keyword like this with an evergreen keyword like sample type beat, it's just unmatched. It really is. So you can't beat it. So it's a proven strategy that has worked over and over and over again. And I've done it with many of my channels. And as you can see, these beats are just going viral, right? 1.2 million views in 4 months. Crazy view potential there. So I definitely recommend doing your research on that niche. Now for the last niche, we have maybe a bit of a shocker for you guys, but Future x Metro Boomin type beats. Now you might be like, wow, Future's like pretty competitive. I'd say that's definitely a big name in the game, along with Metro Boomin, right? But if you do it right, you can definitely break into this niche, even on a brand new channel. I recommend going more of the luxury route with the thumbnails. As you can see on this one right here, it's got a picture of a Rolls Royce and it's kind of has a moody vibe to it. So I would go jewelry, Rolls Royce, or just like luxury cars, right? Or even just fast cars in general, like McLarens, Ferraris, all that. I definitely think cars and stuff like that is the method, especially like jewelry too. You basically want to match like Future's aesthetic, but don't actually put Future as the thumbnail. I wouldn't recommend it. The reason why is you'd be kind of boxing yourself in. So right here I have kind of the diagram of the thumbnail formats, and basically you don't want to box yourself into just the artist thumbnail format. I'm not going to touch up too much in depth on this, but basically the artist algorithm is for the pictures with the artist on the picture. In this case, let's say it's a Lil Baby type beat, like the picture above. When the artist is on the picture, it will only be shown up to next to other Lil Baby type beats, which kind of limits your reach, right? Even though, yeah, Lil Baby is a big keyword, you're boxing yourself in. Whereas when you do a picture of like a Rolls Royce or jewelry, you'll be shown up next to other pictures of like nice cars and other pictures of jewelry, or thumbnails, I mean, not pictures, same thing. And what this does is, if there's a bunch of videos going viral with cars on it, which there's a bunch of type beat videos going viral right now with cars, you'll be put up next to that instead of another picture of Future or something, right? So that's kind of a cheat code with the thumbnails right there. That's definitely a gem. And Future x Metro Boomin type beats, especially these type, definitely more of like the "we don't trust you" sound, kind of like that 21 Savage sound almost. If you include samples in these type of beats, like choir samples or stuff like that, you will explode. Definitely another banger niche right there. So let me show you how I actually found these niches. That way you can find more niches like this yourself. So to start, you can look at YouTube itself and search type beat just in the search bar to find the hottest keywords, right? You can just see what's on top. I recommend doing it in incognito mode. That way you don't get any of like your recent searches or like any of your data playing into what you see on the search results. Definitely do incognito. That way it's just a raw search results and you see who's really popping, right? I recommend having vidIQ installed. It's a free Chrome extension. They have a paid version, but I don't really recommend it. It's kind of unnecessary for what we do, at least. But definitely get vidIQ. It's spelt vidIQ. Literally, that's it. You just search that up and download it on Chrome. I also use my own AI software, so this isn't something I sell or anything. It's just something I use for myself and for my clients. It's my own personal AI type beat market analyzer, and what it does is if I just search, say, Drake type beat or something or any keyword, it'll give me an analysis of the competition and kind of like where they're messing up, what could be done better, and it gives me all their tags, their descriptions, their metadata, all that nerdy stuff. So I like to use that. So if you know code, maybe program something like this that I made for myself. But I recommend for all of you guys just to use vidIQ, and honestly just to use YouTube incognito mode just to like search up the keywords itself. It's really pretty much there, you know, like 90% of it is that. Obviously that extra 10% is from something nerdy like this, but you'll be good with vidIQ, at least to get started and get to your first like 10K subs. Once you get to 10K and like 20K subs and are trying to go for like that 50 to 100K sub mark, that's when you definitely want to implement stuff like this. But yeah, now what's an easy way to turn any keyword into a viral niche? Well, posting beats with viral samples or samples with viral potential. Now, what I mean by this is these could be sounds that are going viral on TikTok, Instagram, or just on the top charts, or classic songs, classic bangers. This could be from the early 2000s era. You can sample just about anything. You could even sample a song from 2 years ago if you wanted. As long as it sounds good, that's all that matters. Now, sample beats are the cheat code to going viral right now and can be applied to any keyword to instantly 5 to 10x your view potential. So that's good, you know, if you want to go viral and turn any keyword into a viral niche, really, right? But what's an easy way to have your channel get more beat sales even with low views? Now, all these other producer YouTubers don't really talk about this, but I thought I'd share it with you because it's super, super crucial for actually building a sustainable hype beat business. Okay, so how do you do this? Well, you target a more mature or serious audience, right? Believe it or not, but 16-year-old kids freestyling at 3 a.m. instead of doing their homework do not buy beats. I wish they did because I'd be a millionaire right now. This is why I touched up earlier on the R&B niche, because this niche, number one, it targets more females than any other niche would, right? It targets singers, which buy more beats. And R&B usually targets an older audience. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about like your grandparents old. I'm talking about just more mature. So like, you know, 25 to 45, right? And people that are a bit older typically just have more money available. And it's not even so much that, it's more that they just have the mindset of investing in themselves, right? Whereas a 16-year-old kid freestyling in the school bathroom doesn't really think about, you know, actually building a brand and a business as an artist, right? They don't think about it like that. They don't care about being cleared and legally, you know, protected and all that. Or just even thinking about business in general, right? There's, you know, they're younger, which makes perfect sense. So if you just think about it logically like that, then it actually makes more sense to go for a niche that targets a more qualified audience, right? Because you'll make so much more money without needing to get millions of views every month. So you're probably thinking, okay, what are some niches that target artists that actually buy beats? Well, I'll show you. First, we have Meek Mill type beats, and Meek Mill type beats are kind of more like that sad Drake R&B type beat. They got some emotion in it. They definitely got some pain in it. But I wouldn't say it's like traditional rod wave type of pain. It's more of like a R&B type of pain. And they also have like some soulfulness in it. And soulful beats really do sell a lot. So Meek Mill is a super, super good keyword if you want to sell a lot of beats. Bryson Tiller type beats are just like any R&B in general. I already kind of talked about that, but R&B sells like crazy. And boom bap type beats, you know, like kind of like that 90s hip hop, old school style. I mean, think about it. You're going for people that want 90s hip hop and want old school beats. They probably grew up with that, meaning they're like, you know, 30, 40 years old, which automatically allows you to target an older audience, right? Or just a more mature audience. These people probably buy beats versus 14-year-old kids that are rapping on a Yeet type beat. I'm not saying that Yeet type beats don't sell, but I'm saying, you know, 1 million views on a Yeet type beat might make you $3,000 in beat license sales, whereas 1 million views on a boom bap beat will make you $15,000 or $20,000, right? And that's not even including like the YouTube revenue, which typically on a type beat, 1 million views is about $3,000 in AdSense revenue. That's just in my personal experience. Like I'll pull up a beat with 1 million views here. Yeah, it's about $3,000. All right, so you have an idea of what niches to go for if you want to make the most profit, but how can we actually convert these artists into buyers? Well, if we think about it logically, we already have what we really need, which is the audience, right? We have the target audience, meaning we've already done 50% of the work. Now we go into some of the nerdier things, which is just sales mechanisms, which this is where we collect emails. And so what we do is we funnel these artists into an email automation. And in this automation, we are nurturing them. So let's say they download a free beat, right? And they're already our ideal customer. then if they don't just purchase the beat right away and they just download it to kind of give it a test run or whatever, now we have their email and they instantly get tagged and put into an email automation, which is where they get nurtured. So you're not just saying, hey, now that you're on my email list, buy my beat, and just try and shove a product down their throat. That's not what works. It doesn't work on me. It doesn't work on you. So it definitely wouldn't work on them. So you're just going to send about 5, maybe even 8 emails, and you're just giving value. You're just trying to give value. That's your whole goal with this funnel. You're giving a bunch of value, you know, maybe tips on just how to grow as an artist, because technically, right, you are an artist. So if you've built up your YouTube quite a bit, even just a couple hundred subs, right, that's pretty decent. You're able to get views on your music. That's like, you know, 90% of music producers can't do that. So once they go through the funnel, right, and ideally, you know, you want to give a discount code, you know, maybe 20% off your first purchase or something like that. I usually like to do a beat pack of, you know, say either a beat pack, or you could try them to just get them to purchase a license. Since they just got the free download, you kind of want to get them to just purchase a license. So a discount code would probably be best. And then from there, if they start to like you after being nurtured, right, they will probably buy. Now, obviously not every single person that goes through the flow is going to buy, but the key here is volume. So if you start getting a lot of views, more and more people will go through this funnel, meaning eventually people are going to be converting through this. It's inevitable. Money always follows attention. So that's just a rough idea of how you can actually convert these artists into buyers once you have the channel built up and everything, of course. For now though, if you're a complete beginner, don't worry about that yet. Just focus on the YouTube side of things. So now you know some profitable niches. You have a rough understanding of how to convert these artists into buyers. How do we actually get views though? I'm not going to explain it in this video because this video would be like an hour long, but don't worry, I have a YouTube video that I'll leave below for you in the description. It covers everything about how to grow a Typee channel step by step, even if you're a complete beginner. So if you're looking to actually grow a Typee channel and follow all the steps that I laid out in this video, I highly recommend you go check it out. But yeah, I hope you got some value out of this. I know I talk fast, but I just get really excited about this stuff. Can't help myself. But you guys have a good night. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.